While millions of middle-class Indians bear the brunt of tax collections, corporate debt is quietly being written off to the tune of several lakh crores. The Ministry of Finance revealed that public sector banks have written off a staggering 12 lakh crore in corporate loans over the last decade. What is more shocking is that over 5.82 lakh crore of bad loans were written off just in the last 5 years. However, write-offs don't wipe away borrower liability, yet they significantly benefit large corporations. Meanwhile, common man like you and me face tighter scrutiny from banks. In this week's In Public Interest, we speak to Thomas Franco, former General Secretary of All India Bank Officers Confederation, to explore why corporate write-offs are systematically favoured, how do these sweeping exclusions shape our economy, and why does the system treat corporates more leniently than the common taxpayer? This month on In Public Interest, we are taking up the issues in the banking sector, from corporate loan write-offs to issues related to microfinancing institutions, levying of GST on penalty payments, the issues faced by people due to CIBIL score, and the role of Reserve Bank of India in protecting, or rather, failing the interest of the consumers. If you like our work and if you want us to continue, do support us by becoming a paid subscriber of the News Minute or click the link in the description to contribute to our reporting fund. Thank you so much for talking to us, sir. In this episode, we are going to talk about corporate loans. Recently, there was a news article based on a reply that was given by the Ministry of Finance in the Parliament saying that PSU banks have written off loans worth 5.82 lakh crores in the past 5 years alone. And there are also previous such replies which clearly says that over 16 lakh thousand crores of loans have been written off. So what exactly does this mean, and who are these people who are getting these loans written off?
See, in 11 years, as per a parliament reply, 16.35 lakh crores have been written off. So every year we are writing off an average of 1.5 lakh crores. This, in another parliament reply, it was told that 83% of these loans written off belongs to the corporates. Some small loans might be written off for a MSME borrower or a agriculture borrower. That will not impact much on the balance sheet of a bank. Whereas in the case of corporate credit, the amount is so huge. Now, for example, Adani Group, the outstanding as on today will be around 1.2 lakh crores. So if it goes bad, even this, if one bank has given that loan, the bank itself will collapse. Such kind of a huge credit is being given. Now, there was an effort by the Reserve Bank of India itself in 2016. One Mr. Raghuram Rajan was there. The Reserve Bank of India issued a circular saying that one corporate should not be given more than 10,000 crores by the banking system as a whole. Because many of these large loans are given by a consortium, not a single bank. So even the consortium together can give only for one corporate maximum of 10,000 crores. But this was never implemented. He left. Subsequently, it was forgotten. And today, you don't find that circular in the RBI website at all.
So the circular has vanished.
Yes.
And the rules have also gone. Like there is no such rule.
Now there is no ceiling on loans to the corporates. That time, they clearly pointed out that corporates, if they are doing well, they can go directly to the market. They can float bonds, they can issue shares, they can borrow from the international market. Why public sector banks should give the loans? That was the argument. But today it is forgotten because today this government is supporting the corporate blatantly. We have seen in the case of many large borrowers. See, this government alone brought this insolvency and bankruptcy court. That time itself, we in the trade union movement questioned it, criticized it. We said that this is going to help the borrower than the lender. Because the wording itself was like that to help the borrowers was there, and the objective it was given. And what has happened is, in the National Company Law Tribunal set up by the AIBOC, huge write-offs are taking place. And it is one corporate selling its property and another corporate buying it very cheap. Two examples I can quote you.
Okay, before going into that, just to give our viewers a quick sense of what does it mean when they say we have written off these loans. What exactly does that mean?
See, you create a provision first in the balance sheet, amount as provision for future bad debts. So once you feel that this loan is not going to come back, in the case of small loans, it may be at the bank level itself, they will decide. But in the large loans,
Big loans, corporate.
Corporate loans, it is either the NCLT or the Debt Recovery Tribunal. They say that you settle it for this much. So, suppose your outstanding is 1 lakh crore. The NCLT tells you that this company does not have any assets, so another company is willing to pay only 100 crores. This finally agreed, and it is made legal. There is a retired judge sitting there. There is somebody who retired from a bank or with a chartered accountant. He becomes the interlocutor, and bank at one end, they sit together, they decide, okay, this is what is recoverable. So this,
No matter what the amount is, how big the amount is, whatever is decided here is the final amount.
exactly. See, what happens is, once you are getting only 100 crores, whereas your outstanding is 1 lakh crores, the rest of the 99,900 crores, that is written off from the balance sheet of the bank. So the provision which has been created already, that money will be taken into the for the writing off, and your book of accounts becomes clear. But your profit goes down. The bank's profit goes down.
And whose money is it?
It is public money.
That's the question.
No bank has its own capital to lend. It is you and me who are depositing money, and the majority of the deposits, as per our own RBI's own report, it is household deposit. Small depositors who constitute the major portion of the depositors. And this depositors' money only you are lending to the corporate and you are writing off. One example, Vedanta. Vedanta bought over Videocon and its subsidiaries. The loan outstanding was around 90,000 crores. Only 5% was the amount paid by Vedanta. The rest was written off, and it is legal.
They call it haircut.
Haircut. A very new, innovative
Gen Z kind of a term.
So you are actually making the banks bald. That is the haircut what is taking place. And in another case, one account of Anil Ambani was taken over by Mukesh Ambani through a group company which he was part of, and the recovery was only 2%. And the outstanding was 54,000 crores.
And 2% of it was paid.
The rest is
written off.
Yes. So this is a provision this government has created for helping the corporates. Corporates are given so many concessions. Income tax waived off, corporate tax reduced. In addition, this is the way which I call a loot of the public sector banks. It is the loot of the public money. You are giving a loan to a corporate without properly assessing, with political influence, and then you ask that loan to be written off. How Anil Ambani could roam around free?
That's a curious case. But before going, talking about Anil Ambani, because I want to talk about that. But before talking about Anil Ambani, the statement of MOS Pankaj Chaudhary, MOS Finance Pankaj Chaudhary, he says that such write-off does not result in waiver of liabilities of the borrower, and therefore it does not benefit the borrower. It's not benefiting the borrower is what the government is saying. So what do you have to say about that?
That's a big joke. Earlier, Madam Nirmala Sitharaman had also made this statement. This is write-off does not mean waive off.
No, Arun Jaitley had also written an article, there in the BJP's website.
Okay.
Write-off is not waive off. And he just gave his reply.
Now, you have to differentiate the small loans and the corporate loans. The small loans, what happen is, the banks, they find that a borrower has gone sick. The unit has gone sick. There is no chance of recovery. Whatever little assets are there, he sells and gives to you. After that, there is no scope. So the bank themselves waive off. Write it off from their book of account. Or that they don't follow.
That's a very small
one. And we have seen that waiver scheme during the time of Chidambaram. The government decided that for borrowers, agriculture borrowers, up to this much amount, who are in default, we will waive off. The government gave the money to the bank. So bank did not lose a single rupee. That is a different type of waiver. But here, once you go to the NCLT, there is no further scope for proceeding with the recovery at all. How Pankaj Chaudhary is saying that there is a possibility. This 28% recovery which has come from the return of loans, that is from smaller borrowers, mainly SME borrowers, housing loan borrowers, agriculture borrowers. See, a housing loan borrower, the house asset is there. So even say there is a problem, he has not been repaying for 5 years, you write up, but then you further proceed, you file a case. Then some recovery comes. In some cases, if the asset's value had gone down, your recovery will be less. In agriculture, you may not get much of recovery. So that all should put together. Similarly on MSME, suppose a business has collapsed, an industry has collapsed, their recovery is very less. But still, we have that legal proceeding to follow. But in the case of accounts settled with the National Company Law Tribunal, that is the end. After that, bank does not have a right to proceed with.
So banks will get what they want, or it's settled. It's settled.
As I told you, no, out of 1 lakh crores, they decide on 100 crores. You get that 100 crore only. After that, you cannot file a case further. You cannot go to the court. You cannot take any effort because that is legally accepted. That this is a compromise settlement.
But what is interesting in his statement is that such write-off does not benefit the borrower. Now the question is, what kind of benefits or indirectly what kind of benefits the borrower is enjoying, and who are these borrowers?
See, have you seen any corporate borrower after his loan is write off? He's begging on the street or looking for a job. They still drive Mercedes-Benz and BMW, live in palaces, abroad, palatial houses, or go abroad. Yeah, there are so many of them who have happily gone abroad, and you are not able
give podcast after 5-6 years.
Yes, Vijay Mallya, Ahmed Hoshi, Nirav Modi, Jatin Mehta. Now that AIBOC shipyard. Those fellows have gone abroad and they are happy. Nothing would be done to them. But here, what is important is that what the Minister of State is stating is not a fact. They are benefited. Once your loan is written off, by settling it, you get an opportunity to start afresh.
Again, apply for loans and get loans.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is directly a benefit to them. Many cases, the loans have been written off. They start a new company or even apply in the same company's name. Why the fellow who has bought it over, they get into a mutual agreement. See, SR, when it came to NCLT, finally came and told NCLT, I have enough money, I'll pay the full amount with interest. But NCLT said that no, now nothing can be done, we have already settled. You cannot buy because you are the borrower, so we cannot sell it to you. But here we know one Shivachandran, Aircel,
Shivasankaran.
Yeah, Shivasankaran. This company was bought over by his own father. So how do you say that the borrower is not benefited? They are very much benefited. Especially no corporate borrower has become insolvent. Even if they declare as insolvent in the court, they are not insolvent and they are happy. They are getting now government contracts also and all support from the government because they are politically connected. That is the problem.
Okay. In the same statement, the Minister of Finance also says that in the recovery is around 28%. But that's a very low recovery rate, right? Like you give debts and then the recovery rate is just 28%. Then what happens to the rest?
I am not sure whether he is quoting this 28%, comparing the recovery done through various channels. That is, even now debt recovery tribunals are there, Lok Adalats are there, Sarfasi Act is there. In all these methods, recovery takes place. Then there is this NCLT. If he is taking all that together and giving an average, he should explain that. But normally, we have seen most of these corporate settlements through the NCLT, the average recovery is 20%.
That's all.
And there are cases where even no recovery has taken place and 1%, 2% recovery also has been settled by the NCLT.
1%, 2%.
Yes.
That's a very shocking number. If you put together all this, then that itself will become a huge,
Till now, at least NCLT is publishing a report quarterly. If we keep analyzing all those quarterly reports, some of the cases gets highlighted there. So if you sit and note down everything, you can find out. And see, the Parliament Standing Committee on Finance was asked to look into it. Yashwant Sinha's son, Jayan Sinha, was the chairman of the standing committee. That committee has come out with a very detailed report. They have said that this is helping the borrower more than the banker. More write-off is taking place than recovery. There is collusion between the parties involved. And more than 200 of the so-called agents have been delisted because of their misuse of this mechanism.
Okay.
So, even then, the government has not taken any action. Now they say that they are going to make some changes in the bill, the act, insolvency bankruptcy code. We'll have to wait and see. But they don't have any intention of helping the banks. They have only intention to help the borrowers, corporate borrowers.
Okay.
Banks are still surviving because in spite of all this, the transactions are so high. There is still demand for more loans. And they are able to get deposit at a very cheap rate of interest. So they are making profit.
So in the same statement, sir, they says that there are several mechanisms in place for debt recovery, which is filing a civil, suit, and then going to the debt recovery tribunal, and then NCLT and insolvency and bankruptcy code. These are the provisions that are there. So in all these cases, like you said, the big loans, it has gone to NCLT. And for smaller loans, imagine for a housing loan people have taken, if they have defaulted that loan, then they become ineligible. Then how come in the case of, corporates, they are again eligible for loans?
See, that is the beauty of this insolvency and bankruptcy code. They have created an opportunity for the borrower to cheat, not repay, get it written off, and then he is clean. He can apply afresh. Whereas in the case of a, say, housing loan borrower, he has not paid back. The bank files a case in the court.
Maybe even if it is a small amount.
Yes. When there is a security, the bank does not leave. Even if it is a 1 lakh loan and there is a small house, they will, as per our rule, you have to follow up till the recovery is made when there is a security available. So with that, you file a case, it prolongs, the value of the property goes down. And normally what happens is, these kind of auctions, even gold loan auctions, if somebody is not taking back the gold and you go for an action, there is a syndicate. They come decide among them what is the price they can fix for this property or for this jewel. So you may be expecting from the bank that, okay, this house is worth 2 lakhs, I will at least get 1 lakh. But that fellow who is buying, he will offer only 50,000 and there won't be bid for more than 50,000. Then what the bank does? Okay, highest bidder, give it. Over.
So there's a syndicate, there's a council that is working within that system as well.
I have seen in gold loans, I myself have auctioned gold loans, and I have seen that how that caucus works. So ultimately, the loser is the banker, and whatever he is saying, you can proceed under the civil suit, that is under the SARFAESI Act, or you go to the debt recovery tribunal, where again a retired judge is sitting there and he decides how much is to be given. And now there is also lok adalat available. Here are all cases, the recovery percentage on an average has not gone beyond 20-25%.
And talking about the case of Anil Ambani, it's a very curious case. First, they allow him to, settle. And then they say that these loans are a fraud. It has been obtained fraudulently. Then there is a money laundering, investigation that is launched against him. His statements are recorded. Normally, in other cases, the banks will first go to the agencies. But in this case, everything seems to be happening in reverse. Why is that so?
It's because of the political influence he has.
But is it happening as per procedure, or is it being...
It is not happening as per the procedure. See, Anil Ambani's case, in 2016, the State Bank of India declared it as a fraud. He had that time 9 group companies. Apart from that, he had many unlisted companies also. So, RCOM, Reliance Communication, was declared as a fraud. And they had given details, how much money was given, 31,250 crores. Out of that, this money which has been transferred to some other company which is not as per the sanction of the bank. Money is being diverted, money is being used for repaying some other loan. All that details they had given. But he went to the Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court said that you have not followed the full procedure. So it was turned down. This fellow continued to be roaming around freely. Now the State Bank of India has once again filed it as a fraud case and it has gone to the CBI. If it is a loan above 1 crore, it is our duty that we report it to the CBI in the cyber crime. So that way,
this is a serious fraud investigation.
It is a very serious fraud. In normal case, immediately what would have happened is that the borrower would have been arrested. But this man has so much of influence that nothing could be done.
So what's happening in this case where he is attending CBI, he is attending ED, summons, and ED is questioning him, and all that is just an eyewash?
I consider it as a eyewash only, based on facts. See, NCLT gives one order against him. He goes to the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. There they just turn down this order. He is scot-free. Then, in some case, NCLT itself confirms the order. He goes to the court. Court squashes the order. And this has happened in many of the court cases dealing with Anil Ambani between different banks. You know of the Canara Bank case, you know of the State Bank case. Both have become publicly available. So we know. But there are many more which are not publicly available. Now, in the meantime, see, 2016, this man has been declared as a fraud by State Bank of India. But at that same time, he gets a Rafale order.
Government contract
To the Prime Minister himself going with him and sitting in France and signing an agreement. And there, this man who has not even manufactured a small plane, the plane, he gets an order for repairing all these so-called high-tech
aviation technology.
Very high-tech Rafale fighters. And surprisingly, till date, nothing has happened. If you look at the media side, Yashwant Sinha, Arun Shourie and Prashant Bhushan, they filed a case. And they said that Prime Minister himself should be prosecuted and that Dassault directors should be also included in that. Nothing has happened. So many years. And now if you go to the Anil Ambani's website, he claims to be Prime Minister's representative in US Business Council, European Business Council, and recently got 10,000 crore order for producing arms and ammunitions for the Indian Army. So, when a person is so powerful, the banks also hesitate. Days are gone. There were very straightforward managing directors, chairman. We always keep talking proud about state banks. One chairman called R.K. Talwar, who stood up against Sanjay Gandhi. During the emergency, Sanjay Gandhi wanted a loan to be given to a friend. Pranab Mukherjee, as Minister of State, called R.K. Talwar and asked him to give a loan. He said, I will check and come back. He went back and said that this loan cannot be given. Pranab Mukherjee asked him to resign. He said that I will not resign. If you want, you can dismiss me. That kind of straightforward people were there. Nowadays, we are seeing that every chairman of all public sector bank, they have 1 year cooling period. After that, they are placed in big corporates,
Same companies that have become NPAs, they are placed there. They get jobs.
Exactly. That's what is happening.
Post-retirement
Yes.
job offers.
So, why fight with the government? When the government is saying, finance ministry is saying that you take care of this, they just do that. That is what is exactly is happening. One another interesting example I will tell you how this politics in the banking system is taking place. You know the case of Yes Bank.
Yeah.
Yes Bank was on the verge of collapse. State Bank was asked to invest money and save the bank. They not only invested huge money, the then Deputy Managing Director and Chief Financial Officer of State Bank of India, one was the Prashant Kumar, was asked to resign from State Bank of India and take up position as MD of Yes Bank overnight. And where it happened was the most interesting thing. This is disclosed by the then Chairman of State Bank of India, Mr. Rajneesh Kumar. In his memoir book, he has written that I was sitting in Antilia, the house of Mukesh Ambani, along with a representative of BlackRock Investments from USA. And I was asked to save Yes Bank. BlackRock agreed that they will also invest some money, which they never did. So I called Prashant Kumar. He came. Sitting in the car, I took the resignation letter and he was given an appointment letter next day and took over as Yes Bank chairman. He, till date, he is continuing as MD of Yes Bank.
That's interesting.
So, that kind of a political network is there. So, no MD or executive director, managing director will dare to confront these powerful people. And these corporates are really powerful. And in Anil Ambani's case, it is very clear, and I suspect that even now nothing is going to happen.
Right, sir. Let's see what will happen in these cases. But this is a very interesting insights that we have got from you about the way banks write off corporate loans and what happens next. Because what we see on the news and what is there reported in the papers is something which is absolutely different from the reality. So thank you so much for joining us and talking about this issue, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.